Mark, thank you so much for talking to us today in your role from the PGDRC. You've mentioned that regardless of cultivar, 22 grams of methane is generated from a kilo of dry matter. Do you see anything coming, improving that in the future? Any developments being done around the world on cultivars?
I think that's where the project that the Ag Research are talking about, the lipids and the genetically modified. I didn't make that point, but we've not done anything to do with genetic modification or any of that. We're trying to use what's there now.
Okay. Yep.
So there will be some opportunity to move that. I mean, its mechanism, I understand, is increasing the amount of lipids, because lipids can be a sink for hydrogen, so that's how it plays out. Yeah, I think that's probably the way forward. Plants have protein and they have their mechanism so that they can grow and be grazed. So you've got to kind of work with ecology somewhat there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
On that, do you think that the barn-based systems around in other parts of the world, where they do have the ability to capture their methane emissions, are they going to become a new norm? Are they going to become the new best practice of farming?
I wouldn't like to think so. I don't think so. I think that's a cost, and there's a cut and carry cost. Big grain industries around there, corn and those things in those parts of the world, and they have hideous winters. So I mean, I think our system, because it's temperate, warm, I think we can just keep getting it better and better. And when we've got better measurement techniques on what's going on below the soil and things, which is where our issues kind of lie, in the sense of saying, are we doing something to our resources we shouldn't be doing? I think I don't think we're in a bad place at all, but we won't get the levels of production because we can't feed them as much. So then it all comes down to the economics, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think the vaccines, the inhibitors that you spoke about today, while you mentioned a 7-year time frame for some of those, but you could fast track them, when would we see a fast tracked option commercialised for us?
So in terms of a vaccine, if we have a proof of concept, we're doing this in sheep. First thing we would do, we'll vaccinate cattle with the same ones that's worked in sheep to make sure. Then it's a matter of manufacturing how do you build up and distribute manufacturing. The same issue with inhibitors. You're talking about giving a gram a day to an animal. Then you got 1 million cows every day, and then suddenly the numbers grow, and it's a massive. The factory to build the compound is kind of like cost of goods, and so I mean all of those things. And in parallel, which is the critical bit for us, being the industry funding body, is that we actually make sure these things are benign and actually enhance our ruminant livestock, not make them less fertile, less milk, or some other. So we're going to have to do that work, and that's a time thing. So you probably want to understand like reproductive impacts. So you've got to have heifers that have been fed it and go through and have a calf and be sure that you're not doing inadvertently finding something out. So there is time that we're not going to put that at risk.
So we're probably thinking more like we're 2018 now. 2025 would be having some reasonably good stuff come to the market.
Yeah,
great.
Well, I think you'll see TMR, the TMR option at DSM. They seem to be pretty confident. I think they're tracking that will come onto the market late next year. What impact that can have here, we don't. Yeah, but it's available, and the other thing that will do is that the world market will be starting to work with this.
Yes.
This is all new.
Yeah.